Okay, we are live. Welcome everyone to the MUISS Engagement session of the 2025 MUSA by-election debates. Quick introduction here, I'm Bliss, the returning officer of the 2025 MUSA by-elections and the moderator of today's debate. We have Saad and Ayama here, both candidates running in a pair for MUISS Engagement, and we have Shraddha here, the 2024 MUISS Engagement. Right. Briefly, before we begin the session, we will start with an introduction of the debate agenda and the people present in this debate session, which we have done, proceeding with a 5-minute opening statement by the candidates, a 20-minute Q&A session from the 2024 office bearer, and after that, we will open up the floor for audiences to submit their questions during this public Q&A session. After that, we will wrap up with the candidates' closing statement for 5 minutes. With no further ado, let's start with the closing statement of the candidates. Saad and Nayama, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Bliss. Hello, everyone. My name is Saad Haroon, and I'm currently in my second year at Monash. I'm honored to be running for MUISS Engagement Head alongside Niyama. My journey with MUSA began with serving on the MUISS Secretary Subcommittee, where I was assigned to the Engagement Department, and I've worked closely with them and helped execute successful events throughout the year. In addition to my experience with MUSA, I have worked in 2 startup companies, gaining real-world corporate experience that has strengthened my adaptability and problem-solving skills. It is also worthwhile to mention that I have also served as a Chief Communications Officer at a student-run event management entity at my previous institution, where I was awarded for my innovation in sportsmanship. Over to now.
Hello everyone, I'm Nama. I'm a third year student and I have been involved with MUISS since my second year here at Monash. Having worked with MUISS before under the engagement department, I worked on JomKL, Games Wars, MCN, One World, and Holy during 2024, which showed me that for new students, adjusting to a new culture, new systems, and sometimes even new languages can be a challenge, prompting a requirement for a sense of belonging. That's why Saad and I are running on the idea of stronger together. It's not just a slogan, it's a call to action for a more inclusive, empowering, and culturally vibrant international student experience.
Okay, so moving on to our manifestos and our experience. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of working closely with MUISS on various initiatives, including Game Wars, JomKL, Holy, One World, and MCN in 2024. And what stood out to me the most was the transformative power of connection, how one meaningful event can turn a new place into a home away from home. That's the heart of our campaign, Stronger Together, like Niyama said. We believe that engagement isn't just about planning events, it's about creating opportunities for international students to connect, celebrate diversity, and feel genuinely seen and heard, which is also a core part of our manifesto. We believe that every student should feel like they belong in the MUISS community. With my background in event coordination and student led initiatives, I've seen firsthand how inclusive planning, consistent communication, and cultural sensitivity can make our events more accessible and impactful. That's exactly what we want to build on. Not just continuing what works, but innovating to do better.
We envision MUISS where voices guide the events we host, where cultural exchange is not just encouraged but celebrated, and where every initiative brings us closer as a united community. From student maintenance session to flagship interactive events, our goal is to ensure that every event has a purpose to connect, uplift, and inspire. With the experiences both of us bring and the passion we share, we are ready to take MUISS engagement to the next level together with all of you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. That's all for your
All right, thank you for your opening statement. Just a little note, maybe Naima can come closer to the mic because I don't think you're as audible on YouTube. So yeah, please take note of that. All right. After the opening statement, we will proceed with the OB's question session. Shraddha, the floor is yours.
Hey guys. So my first question is open to both of you. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing international students right now, and how would you address it through your role?
Sorry, could you repeat the part of your question? How do we address?
Okay, I'll say the whole question. What do you think is the biggest challenge facing international students right now, and how would you address it through this role?
Okay, I'll answer that. I think that one of the biggest challenges for international students anywhere in the world is the lack of something to connect to. The sense of belonging when you're new to a country is really missing, which is why it's so important to have a community that fosters your ability to interact with people. And it's also very difficult to meet new people and actually go out and be social to people when you're completely new to a place. Which is why the events that we host, we also have a lot of upcoming events that we have planned where we want to create mingling events. We want to create events where people have a place to come, yeah, and join in a place where they are likely to find people that they're gonna connect with. It's a hub of people with the same mindset, same ideologies, and it's just good vibes all around. So we think that creating events that foster that sort of an energy, that fosters that sort of collaboration would be very good for us and the international communities.
Okay, thank you. Good answer. So, as you said, you plan to host like a number of events. I would want you to describe one innovative event you would like to introduce, and how would you ensure its success with limited resources?
Okay, so I'll take over for this one. So we're planning on doing a murder mystery event very soon, and we also have a global adventure hunt, which is basically a treasure hunt in the planning. And how we plan to do it, since these events require minimum, let's say, financial resources, we will be using our manpower since we have like a pretty good subcommittee team as well, and the rest of our MUISS subcommittee members as well, and as long as other OBs. So let's say if our limited resources are specifically finances, we can pretty much manage these events as well and do it in a big scale.
Okay, thank you. My third one is to Niyama, actually. How do you plan to delegate responsibilities amongst your subcommittees? And in the event there's a conflict between or with them, how do you go about addressing it?
Thank you very much. That's actually a very good question. As we are both two heads, having two heads under one department is always there's always a probability of conflict or whatever. So, in terms of how we have been working as interims so far, we have decided to divide the team amongst ourselves for whatever events. The teams, of course, keep rotating, so we have enough time with each subcommittee members as well. So how we're planning on going about it is like for Jamukea that we have upcoming for July orientation, Saad is taking on the responsibility for that while I'm taking on the responsibilities for Game Wars. So we delegate the tasks in a way where we prefer to be very transparent with our subcommittee. So we ask them what they would actually enjoy more, because we have a lot of events that need working on. We give them the opportunity that which would you like working on. And when in terms of any sort of conflict, I think one thing that we're both very big on is teamship in general. So what we tend to do is we're very very open. At the end of any meeting that we have, we communicate our expectations out of the subcommittee and their expectations out of us. We are very very thorough with regular feedback from the subcommittee to know if there's any way we can improve so that they're also able to move forward with us. And of course, within any team, really, the chances of conflict is always there. Our best go at subsiding that is to be very transparent and be communicating. And we try to be very open. If ever, let's say, they have a conflict with personally me, Saad will always give them the space to go talk to him. If they ever have a conflict with Saad, a subcommittee member can always come and talk to me. We can have internal meetings over that as well. So I think that because we are able to streamline things internally very well, it works out with our partnership as well. And because there's also two of us, any conflict with one particular person gives the subcommittee another opportunity to go talk to another head, we believe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
As you said, you guys have already kind of divided responsibilities amongst yourselves, but engagement's never been a two-person job before this. So how would you ensure that you guys aren't stepping on each other's toes or leaving any gaps along the way?
Okay, so I'll take over for this one. So, like Niama said, that I'm taking over, let's say, John Kill for July, and she's taking over Game Wars. So, basically, we are the PICs for these events, but we also do regular meetings with each other to check on each other and take updates from each other and decide how we want the events to be. And that's how we are almost on the same page for every event we have done so far, and we're planning on doing in the future as
I
well.
would would like to add something to that. Something that we have also recently introduced is a task tracker. We have task trackers for almost every event, which really helps us streamline things in terms of like if Saad ever is doing something and I need to know what he's doing, the task tracker makes it really easy for us to know what each other is working on. And if we ever need to have any sort of conversation or we need to check with each other, the task tracker has made it a lot easier on us internally.
Okay. Moving on. Again, this one goes to the both of you. So let's say a student or a fellow collaborator messages either of you and says that they didn't feel included or safe at the event. How would you respond to them and how would you go about that?
Could you please repeat the question?
Yeah, of course. So let's say a student or a fellow collaborator messages either of you and says they didn't feel included or safe at an event. How would you respond to that and how would you go about that in general?
I'll answer that. So I think that before any, of course, a student coming up to us and telling us something of that severity is extremely uh, not something that we take lightly. However, something that we have implemented on our behalf is we have feedback forms at the end of every event so that we can know from whether that be from our subcommittee, whether that be from participants, whether that be from any general students. We are always welcoming to any sort of opinions, whether that be feedback in terms of our behavior or any of our subcommittee members. We're always very open to finding out what the problem is. Our main goal is always to create an environment where everybody feels safe, included, and welcomed. So, in terms of any problems that come up, where in any scenario, if a person does not feel safe, we would definitely 100% investigate that and take measures if anyone has made if anyone on our team makes anybody uncomfortable or even us, we have made anyone uncomfortable. I think that taking responsibility is something that both of us really believe in, and if even if that is taking responsibility for someone else's behavior, we will do that and we will take the necessary measures against the people who or against the circumstances that would make a person feel unwelcomed or unsafe.
Okay, thank you. Last one to the both of you. If your team was struggling with burnout halfway through the semester, as was the case last year, how would you, what would you do to support them, and how would you go about the team's responsibilities then?
Okay, so I'll take over for this one. So I was also a part of the engagement team last year and I saw this firsthand. So to address that, we have started planning for events like way before time. Let's say for John Gillen Gay Wars in July, we have already finished our planning and we will be submitting our EMS. Same for our events in SEM 2 as well. We're gonna plan out our events way before so we don't have that kind of issue where we are not able to plan out events successfully. Other than that, we're having weekly meetings with our subcommittee members as well. So they're very engaged with us and they know what our expectations are from them. And they are able to reciprocate that as well. So they're pretty inclined towards working for engagement, and I believe they will till the end of the year as well.
And I would like to add something to that, which is I think us, especially as heads, we really try to leverage time for us so that we try to host any sort of meetings or whatever internally that we have within weeks that are not as academically stressful on our subcommittee so that they're able to work on it in their free time. We don't want it to be that they have their academics upcoming and then they also have an event upcoming. So we feel like that pressure really gets to them, which is why our priority is to get them to work on something at their free time instead of when like it's due or around the time that works for us. We think that their time is just as valuable as ours. So whenever they're free, we encourage them to work on it during those times, especially.
Okay, thank you. Good answer. That will be it from me. Good luck to you guys moving forward.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, thank you. Now we will move on to the public Q&A session. Again, to everyone watching, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the YouTube chat box. And meanwhile, I don't see any questions coming in. Saad, Nayama, or Shraddha, if you guys have questions for each other, this is a time for you to bring it up. If not, we will wait for maybe 1 to 2 minutes to see if we still have any questions in the YouTube chat. All right, meanwhile, while we are waiting, just to let all the students know, this is the final debate session that we will have for the MUSA by-elections 2025. And voting will start on 16 April at 9 a.m. Okay, I don't see any questions for now. So once again, to confirm, Shraddha, do you have any follow-ups for Saad and Naima?
No follow-ups.
All right, great. If there is nothing, then we can move on to the last section, which is the closing statement by the candidates.
Okay, thank you, Bliss. As we've shared, our vision is clear to create an engaging, inclusive, and empowering environment for international students at Monash, a space where everyone feels welcome, not just at events, but within the community as well. We don't see this role just as a position, we see it as a responsibility to serve, to listen, and to act in the best interest of international students. If given the opportunity, Niama and are committed to delivering events that are thoughtful, diverse, and driven by your feedback. We believe in collaboration, we believe in representation, and most importantly, we believe in the strength of this community. Thank you so much.
To echo what Saad shared, this campaign is not just about us, it's about you. It's about every international student who wants to be heard, celebrated, and supported. We are ready to lead with experience, empathy, and energy, but we can only do this with your support. If you believe in a MUISS where cultural identity is embraced, where events bring people together, and where every student can make their mark, then please choose us to be your new MUISS engagement heads. Together, let us build an inclusive MUISS together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. And with that, we conclude our debate session for the MUISS engagement. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.